Hey there. Good morning. So far, no one has signed in, and it really doesn't surprise me. Saturdays are busy days for everybody. Looks like my bra strap's hanging. Let me fix that. Um, Anyhow, I'm going to go over a few volunteer things because I am recording this and I am going to put it out for people to view later. So it's just now 9:03. So if someone does sign on, then we'll add them to the meeting. But for now, I'm just going to start going over some volunteer things. First of all, let me pull up the volunteer information, which I should have already been a little bit prepared and had this ready to roll. I started working on something else this morning and then realized, oh, it's 9 o'clock, time to get on. So let's see, go to race entry. And I'm going to pull up the job descriptions and just talk a little bit about each one so that if you are watching this and you're thinking about a job you might want to come do, or if you have signed up for a job and you're just curious as to what all it entails. But I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So that's why I want to pull this up on the computer and make sure I go over everything and don't miss anything. So I'm on the race entry site on my other computer, and probably should have done it on this computer and I could have shared my screen, but I'm still kind of learning how Zoom works. So sometimes the share your screen thing gets me a little confused. So let's see, select a job. All right, so the first job that we have on here is a Friday evening packet pickup. There is actually a job before this job, and that would be packet stuffing on Wednesday night from 4:30 till about 6:30 or 7. We are going to put the race packets together, the race bags for the runners and ruckers. That will be put together at Town Hall. I have reserved the room at Town Hall so that we can spread out really good. And I know I have my friend Troy, who is our race coordinator, who's helping me this year. I know he's bringing his kids, so I do know that. And I think Nancy Williamson from State Farm, which is one of our vendors, I think she had mentioned that she was going to try and come over as well. So I know there's a few people that are going to be there. So I'm not as desperate for volunteers that night as I am going to be when it comes race day, because I'm getting a little nervous. People haven't signed up to volunteer. So, but if you want to come over Wednesday evening, that would be great. Like I said, we're going to be at Town Hall at 4:30. That's Chapin Town Hall, if anyone's watching this from another area, from 4:30 till about 6:30 or 7. And so then Friday night, packet pickup. This is where the runners will come early if they want to check out the race route, kind of see the area if they're not familiar with the Chapin area. And so they can pick up their packets ahead of time so they don't have to get there quite as early on Saturday morning, because this is going to be an early morning for everybody. And we encourage people to come that day. Another thing that we're also doing at Packet Pickup is accepting additional race registrations. So it's very important that I have a few people there for manning that table where people can pick up their race packets and as well as register for the race. If this is a great opportunity to see my cat's tail. Hey, Ashley, say hi to everybody. Oh, yeah. Just say hi. Okay. She's getting old. So finicky. So on Friday night, people can come to pick up the race packets and they can register for the race. It's an opportunity for them to pay cash. Some people wait till race day because they don't feel comfortable putting their credit card information online. So I'm trying to give you a couple different opportunities. We did that at the open house that we had at Dreyer, another great sponsor that we have. And so we did that there, and we're going to do that again at packet pickup. So people, if they want to pay cash, they don't have to wait till race day to do that. The other thing that's going on that night, and some during the day on Friday, I'm not sure exactly, Palmetto Bone and Joint closes, I believe, at 5, so we probably can't do much until after they have left for the day and cleared their parking lot. But Friday night, we will be putting up tents, setting up some of the cones in Brighton, because there isn't any businesses or anything in Brighton yet. So we are able to go in and lay out most of the race on Friday night. This is going to be wonderful, something that we were not able to do last year. So if you are considering, or if you have signed up for Friday night, this is some of what we will be doing. We'll be setting up some tents and tables and things in the actual Palmetto Bone and Joint parking lot, as well as setting up cones and marking the streets with some temporary chalk, and probably going ahead and putting up some of the signs. We'll probably put up, well, I know we will. We'll put up the mile marker 1 flag, mile marker 2 flag. The porta potties are being delivered on Friday, and I'm not sure what time. I'm sure that's going to already be there during the day, but we got to make sure that, you know, those are strategically placed. I think I'm going to go over Thursday night actually and mark with the temporary chalk spray so that we get those dropped in the right spots, and I don't have to be there for that. But so anyway, that's kind of what's going to go on Friday evening. We're going to have a lot of fun. If it gets too crazy and, you know, we're there for a long amount of time, I might order some pizza and have it delivered down there. So come out Friday night and hang out with us. That should be a lot of fun. And the next thing that's going on is the race route setup on race day. So even though we'll set up a lot of the route on Friday night, there are going to be some things that we can't do Friday night that are going to have to wait till Saturday morning. One of the biggest things is when we close the lane off on Columbia Avenue. Now, if you have not seen the race route, it is on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and just put in the search bar Justin Pepper 5K, it will pop up. There's a YouTube video of the entire race route, so you can see what the race route is. I encourage all volunteers to do that, just to have the familiarity with it. So if someone asks you a question about it when they get there, you'll be able to answer those questions. And the barrels that we have that have to be put out onto the road to block it off to one lane, that will all have to be done on Saturday morning. So the race day setup, although it'll be not as cumbersome as most races because we can do a lot of it on Friday night, there are some things that we're definitely going to need some help with early. Now the race starts at 7, so I would love to see people show up at 6 to help if you're going to help on race day before the race. If you're running the race, you can help on race day before the race. If you know, I'll try not to tax you too much because you are getting ready to do a run, but we would love to have you come out early. Also, there, and I think as we go down here, that was the setup. The next thing is late registration and packet pickup. There will be people that will wait. Last year, we had 143 participants total. 15 of them signed up at the race. This year, we already have 167 people signed up with 1 week to go. So I'm just guesstimating that could increase a little bit because everything along the way has increased a little bit this year. So there could be several people that wait till race day to sign up, and then you're going to have people come on race day to pick up their packets that did not do that on Friday evening. So we're going to have some people at the registration table. I do have a great friend, Gail, who's going to manage that table. She's going to be in charge of the table. So when you get there, I will, if you are a volunteer for that position, Gail will be your contact person. And the next thing I have on here is before the race line assistance. Finish line assistance. Okay, so before the race, finish line assistance. That is helping to get the fruit out and set up on the tables. Now, my parents are coming from Kentucky. They did this last year. They cut the oranges and the bananas and things for the race. So I pretty much have the that taken care of. But as far as getting the fruit out of the boxes and set up on the things, the other thing is the awards table. This is very important that the medals are placed on the table in the order that they are going to be presented. This saves us a tremendous amount of time. Last year, being the first year, wasn't really familiar with how all this kind of works, and we didn't quite get the awards ceremony off like we wanted because we had to take the time to pull all the medals out and set them out on the table. So I'd like to see that done before the race even starts this year. So that's what that would be, is like the things that happen kind of at the finish line area beforehand, if we could set those up that morning. Then the after race finish line assistance would be, as people come off, sort of directing them in the direction of the things they're looking for: food, water, cool down exercises. Some of that stuff will be very easy to see when you come off of the finish, when the runners come off of the finish line, because the way we've laid it out is there's going to be like a fitness corner right when they run through. There will be a map. I'm working on that today. I will get that put out. So make sure you kind of look for that, or I'll send it out to anyone who's a registered volunteer. But I'm also going to post this stuff on our website so that anyone who wants to review that information beforehand will kind of have a layout of the parking lot and the map. Troy and I went over yesterday and walked around the parking lot, decided, where we're going to put certain things. I've got to put that on a map today and get that posted. Let's see what else we've got. The water stop assistants. These are very important, really important positions because as everyone's out there running or walking, especially people who have not done a 5K before, water stops are important. So there are two water stops. Then we have a Twizzler and dog treat stop right before mile 3. But at mile 1, there's going to be a water stop. I need some volunteers to just basically this position. Oh, Nancy's here. Let's see. How do I add Nancy, or is she just going to come in? Nancy, I don't know if you can hear me. Are you in? Can you hear me? I see you've got your video off, which is fine. I just want to make sure that you can hear me. So in the chat box there, if you could just give me a little wave or something that I know that you're on. Just give me a wave in the chat box or say something. I can see that you're here. Nancy, can you hear me?
I can hear it.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've been going over a few things. Welcome aboard. I will tell you that you are the only person on with me this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the shower and I looked up and I thought, oh no.
I did the same thing. I started working on some stuff this morning, trying to, the bibs came in yesterday. And so I was trying to get a list of the bib stuff together to send down to Strictly Running so they could put the chips for the timing chips on them.
Oh gosh, cool.
So I'll just to recap real quick what I've already gone over, because I am recording this for others to watch later. The I've gone over Friday night packet pickup and race. So we are going to do a pickup on Wednesday night. Did you say that you could help with the packet stuffing?
I can. I can.
So I've reserved the room at Town Hall at 4:30. So from 4:30 till like 6:30 or 7, whenever we get there, I'm going to take everything down to Town Hall. So that would be awesome if you want to come over.
Okay, I'll be there.
And I just went over like race route setup, late registration packet pickup. What jobs did you say you're going to bring your kids over Friday night?
I was going to see if they could come over. I'm still not sure of what they're doing, but my company is coming in town and they're actually going to run in the race the next day. So they said they would help if we needed them to. Of course, they're driving all through the night Thursday night, so I'm not sure how helpful they're going to be.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Did you have any questions about anything that we're doing over there on Friday night? Since I've already kind of gone over that, just not to, make this so lengthy. I mean, I guess I could edit it and cut it, but
I'll
it'll
just
take
rewatch it.
more
Don't worry.
time.
I'll
Okay.
rewatch it.
It would just take more time. And
I'm
some people
sorry. I totally
that
understand.
watch this later are going to go, all right, keep on going, keep on going.
Yeah, I'll watch it later. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. So, I just got through talking about before race line assistance and the after race, and we were talking about water stops. That's where we were. So the water stops are very important because of new runners and walkers that are not familiar with walking this distance. The water is extremely important. So at the water stop, we will have the big construction type coolers, and they'll be full of water, and then we'll have cups. So there's trays. It's very important that these water stops, that the water gets set up ahead of time and is on a tray and ready when the runners come through. The first group of runners is going to be people that have run races before and that are pretty fast. They may not even stop for a water stop. If they do, it might be at mile 2. So the people at mile 1, if you see people running by and not taking water, don't worry about that, because some of these runners don't even stop for water. At 5K is just 3 miles for them. Whereas
Oh gosh.
other people who have never run a race, 3 miles is a lot. And I can tell you, when I do a 5K, I walk it, sometimes briskly, but it takes me 45 minutes to an hour, and I definitely pick up water at both water stops. So have you done a 5K before, Nancy?
A long time ago, I did a walk when my daughter was in Girls on the Run in elementary school, and of course she's in college. So I generally don't run unless somebody's chasing me with a butcher knife. So I don't run. Or I do walk in the neighborhood every now and then, but yeah, I've never officially done one.
Well, we're excited that you're doing ours.
Well, great.
And that you've got people coming from out of town too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they're excited. Well, I kind of twisted their arms into it, but no, they're excited just to be part of it. And we're going to have a good weekend. So take a great start.
Good. So real quick, I'll continue on. The sponsor and vendor assistance is just to help people this would be before the race, to help people that are sponsors and vendors find their spots. And, if they have a bunch of stuff in their car they're trying to get out, maybe help them unload and just give them a little assistance to get their tables set up. Then we have the Twizzler dog treat stop. I think Petco has all the volunteers that they need, but if we have some extra people around and I ask you to help at that might be a volunteer opportunity as well, to help hand out Twizzler sticks right before mile 3 to the runners. And we're going to give dog treats to the doggies that are coming through at that point too. Oh, also at the water stops, we will have bowls for the dogs. Make sure those, if you're working a water stop, please make sure those bowls have water so those people don't get held up too long if they're trying to make a time, because some of these runners are very particular about their times. So those water stops, they want to grab their water and go, and we'll have a trash can set up so they can grab their water, take a drink, and then throw their cup, a little bit further down. But if they have a dog and they want to stop for the dog to drink, please make sure those bowls are full of water at all times. The next thing I have on here is the after race cleanup. Again, this is something that if you're running the race, you can still help to volunteer. After the race, there's probably an hour's worth of work for us to take down all the barriers, take down the cones, take down the mile marker 1 sign, the mile marker 2 sign. We have arches that last year we used Strictly Running. This year last year our purchase was the flags for mile 1 and 2. This year our purchase was the arches. So we have a start and stop inflatable arch. Those will have to be taken down as well. Tables and tents, the medical tent, the food tent, there's tents and things. Quickly taking those down with 2 or 3 people is so much easier than trying to do that with just one person. So 3 or 4 people can get that taken down in like 5 minutes. It's really, or not even 5 minutes, probably 30 seconds. The volunteer registration table is another spot that will probably be close to the late registration point. That's where the volunteers will sign in to make sure that as a volunteer you sign in and you get credit for being there, because there are trophies for the community group that brings the most people and the school that brings the most people, for the most volunteers. So if you are registering to volunteer on Friday night and you do on Saturday, and you are let's say you're a Boy Scout and you know your Boy Scout troop is coming to volunteer, but you also attend Chapin High School and you're kind of torn, well, just volunteer both days. And then you can sign up with your group for one day and for your school for the other day. If you're just volunteering on one day or the other, you cannot register for two groups. You have to choose which group that you are representing. So I wanted to make sure I made that clear. One of the most fun jobs, if you're not going to be a participant in the race, is to be an assistant or a cheerleader on the route. This is a lot of fun, not just for you, but also for those runners that are coming through to say, hey, good job, keep it going. And at the turns, letting them know, hey, this is the way you go. And, you only have this much longer to go from here. And, those are important volunteer positions. And then the last thing I have, well, that's the Friday evening race route and prep. I think I've already talked about. I might have that on here twice. So it's been crazy. So one thing I'm going to put this little sign up here, and the thing it says, volunteers are not paid, not because they're worthless, but because they are priceless. So, this is so, so true. And I just want to say that we are so, so, so appreciative of our volunteers. You will get volunteer certificates. I have them for Friday night as well as for Saturday. They're both dated with different dates. And so the volunteer hours that you work, you will get a certificate. We are a nonprofit organization, so this will count towards any volunteer hours that you are required to do for school. I think all seniors have to have volunteers hours to graduate. And also, if by chance you have to do community service work for any other reason, this will count, like I said, because we are a 501c. So I'm going to sign out. I've been on here for almost 30 minutes. I just want to make sure that it's not too long for everybody to watch back. But if you have any questions about any volunteer opportunities for the Justin Pepper 5K, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach us at info@justinpepper5k.org. You can register to volunteer if you have not registered yet at justinpepper5k.org. There's a little button right at the top that says volunteer. I think there's been a little confusion with some people hitting .com instead of .org, so make sure that you are on the justinpepper5k.org. The .com actually goes to the Justin Pepper website, which has some race information, but it's just not as complete. So like I said, any questions you have, just reach out to us by email, or you can give us a call at area code 803-932-2222. Thank you so much for volunteering. Okay, Nancy, I'm going to cut this off. Where does it say? Stop video. Oh, not stop video.